Yeah.
So we're going to start with Dan from TVNZ, and then we'll just...
Cool. Hey, bro. Good. You?
You good? Cool. We're all ready. Yeah, everyone's ready? Firstly, congratulations, but I guess I speak on behalf of all New Zealand. Why? Why would you take on this role, and what were the key factors?
Well, first of all, it's nice to see some familiar faces. Look, to me, it's a great opportunity. It's incredibly humbling to be presented with the opportunity to coach England in Test cricket, which to me is the purest form of the game. It's a game that's probably under the most amount of pressure at the moment as well, in terms of playing numbers and probably people just wanting to see Test cricket being played. And I look at this job and I think there's one country that can try and ensure that Test cricket not only sustains but also thrives, and that's England, with the traditions and the support that it gets. So it's a big job at hand. I look forward to it.
How much pressure are you feeling on your shoulders right now? When you look around you, you've got British media looking at you and scrutinising you. Tell me what's going through your mind.
Well, we haven't even started yet. Wait till we get going. Look, it's not going to be easy. I know that. I understand that there's a lot of pressures which go with a job such as this. I guess one of my skills as a player and I guess as a bit of a mentor or a coach for guys moving forward is to try and block out some of that noise, some of that external stuff, which is important because it also where the support and the sport grows, but it's also can be quite difficult for players if they carry that baggage out onto the field. So look, I understand that there's a lot of pressure that comes with it, so I'll try and quieten down some of that for the players but also for myself.
Have you heard from some of the boys over the Black Caps? Have they sent you any messages, and what have they taken the piss out of you, just to be casual about it all?
Well, Kane was keen for some throwdowns. I said, I'm not sure that's going to work, but I think that's probably not a great look if start throwing balls to you over here. But look, they've been really supportive, to be honest. They know that, look, even though your job as a former player or a former captain is to always look after the players moving forward, and just because we're competing against each other, I'm okay with that as well. I still have their interests at heart, and I still look after them, albeit we'll be fiercely competitive to try and beat them. That's just the way it is sometimes, and I think if you do that and you have a holistic view of the game and you just expect your team is going to have to play well to beat them, then it becomes a little easier to stomach.
Talk me through that game. What's the prep for the first test for you and the team?
Well, we get together on the 29th, get to know everyone within the first couple of days and kind of just slowly feel our way around. I think there's a thirst for change amongst the England side already after what's been a pretty difficult 12 to 18 months for their test side. So there'll be some fresh kind of emotions and approaches coming from the players anyway. So probably not a great deal at this stage. I need to have a good look around as well to work out what needs changed and how we can go about change. But in the first instance, it'll just be trying to enjoy yourself and enjoy the challenge.
Can I just ask one more? Just you and Stokes go way back to Canterbury days, Christchurch days. Talk to us about that, the connection to those days.
Well, actually, I don't know each other a great deal, to be honest. Obviously, he was born in Christchurch. I was born in Waterloo Street in Dunedin, and we're sort of, and now we're kind of doing our jobs over here for England. But I've had an immense amount of admiration for him as a player. I think what he's been able to achieve in his career has been significant. I've always enjoyed watching him play. He plays a style of cricket which I love watching as well. We're probably quite similar in our approaches, which will bring about a good challenge as well. But I'm looking forward to spending time with him, and to me a captain and coach relationship is the most important for any cricket side or any sporting team moving forward. So that's going to be something we're going to have to really build, and I look forward to it.
How much of an adjustment is it for you personally to be wearing blue now, have the 3 lines on your heart?
Well, I've only just got the jacket, to be honest, so I've sort of just put it on now. But look, I'm obviously a very patriotic person. I spent a lot of time playing cricket for New Zealand, and I'm very proud of where I come from and the people I've represented over the years. Professional sport is such that you can only have one coach and one international side, and Gary Stead's done a great job for New Zealand, and that's never been on the radar either. Never had any of those conversations. To have the opportunity to coach England is something which I'm very proud of. It's one of the biggest jobs in the game, and it comes with a lot of pressure, and that's the challenge of it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Did you stew over it at all?
The challenge of coaching a different nation?
No, yeah, the challenge of given you're such a proud black cat, now changing colours.
No, not really. I wouldn't say I stewed over it. I think, what's done's done. I've represented my country with a lot of pride and really enjoyed myself, and I think I I left the cap in a better place than I found it, and that's what your job is, and that's what my job will be here now for England.
How much of an advantage is it to be coaching against players you've played with?
Well, you'd think it would be. We'll find out in a couple of weeks' time how we go, but obviously I know those guys so well. You know some of their weaknesses, but you also know their strengths as well, so it can be a bit of a catch-22. You often hold those that you know so well up on a bit more of a pedestal as well, so I've got to make sure that I'm doing a job for our guys here to ensure that we put the New Zealand side under pressure, and look, I know they're a good cricket team. They're going to be a tough proposition.
How comfortable are you with England's current record, and how quickly does a change occur? How quickly can you fix it?
Well, the record at the moment, we're sort of on a clean slate. We start from go and we see where we get to in a couple of days' time. Obviously what's been has been, and there's a thirst for change over here in England around the Red Bull setup, and hence why I'm standing here, I guess, and it's going to take a little bit of time. I think naturally when change occurs you can often see a slight uplift in performances anyway, just because it's fresh, the approach around the group. But look, I'm trying to build something which is sustainable as well, so if it takes a little bit longer in the interim to get going, then so be it.
Is there more pressure as coach of England or Black Caps captain?
Well, I've been Black Caps captain. I'm only just starting this English coaching thing, so we'll find out in time. But I'm sure with the sheer volume of support and the population and the playing numbers and the history and traditions behind England, I'd say that coaching England is a pretty big gig.
We'll take a couple more and then we're done.
Andrew Strauss told me you're going to bring the X factor to this England team. You're working with pretty much the same players that have been on this poor run in the Test arena. What are you going to bring that's different to this squad to revive England's Test fortune?
Well, hopefully we get a few more runs and a few more wickets, and we get a few more wins in the column. But look, my approach is very kind of holistic. I'm not a technical coach as such. I understand technique, but that's not really my style. My style is very much to get to know individuals, to build relationships, and to try and push those guys towards the danger on occasions, and try and get the best version of themselves playing out on the field. So that's what I'll try and achieve. Time will tell whether we do it or not.
Have you just come from New Zealand? Did I hear that?
So I was in India, went back to New Zealand for a couple of days. It was my wife and daughter's birthday, so spent a couple of days there and then arrived yesterday morning over to England.
And what's been the family advice to you taking on this role? Are they giving you anything, any tips?
No, they were good. Obviously, they've been through it before when I was a player, and a long time on the road, and a lot of sacrifices that you got to make. So they were very supportive. I'm incredibly lucky, and I guess that's why, for me, building relationships and loyalty and things is super important, because I've got that family backing to go and chase your own dreams. So as a coach, you try and get that for the players as well.
And what about the emotion next Thursday? Have you had time to think about that yet? Basically.
On the first day of the test?
When you're leading out England against your home nation?
I'm not playing. I'm not leading them out there. I'm just sitting on the balcony. No, look, there's going to be a raft of emotions there, no doubt. Look, I wish the New Zealand boys well. A lot of friends in that team. I hope they play well. I hope we can beat them.
Brendon, there's a bit of a concern that Ben Stokes is taking on a lot, being an all-rounder, being captain. He says he can handle the workload. Rob Key says he can handle it, but may need to be managed. What do you think?
Well, we'll find out again. I think some players or some people are born leaders as well. They get opportunities at certain stages of their career, and I think where Ben Stokes is at in his career at the moment, he's ready for this challenge to be captain of England, and I look forward to building that relationship with him. Look forward to pushing him to be the best version of himself as a player and also as a person, and if he can be successful and grow even more rather than worrying about what might go wrong, let's look at what could go right. He could become even better. If he does that, then it makes us a dangerous side.
I think England have got talented players. What is it that you think from the outside they've been lacking? Why have they been losing so many Test matches with what is a talented roster of established internationals?
Yeah, look, one thing I will say to the management which were in place beforehand is it was very difficult for the team. They travelled around in COVID times. They operated in a lot of bubbles. There's a lot of challenges which come with that, and all while you're trying to get a performance out on the field in the hardest form of the game. So it's not easy to do that. So you can understand if you lose one or two games, that can kind of fuel some real negativity within your group and within your own self. So my job will be very much to try and lighten some of those emotions, try and bring a bit of positivity, and just try and get the guys to enjoy the opportunity they've got while they're playing or representing their country to try and just enjoy a ride and be the best versions of themselves.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Would you stick to